Welcome to part 5 of my Silver Surfer review. And I swear, this is going to be the last part, and then I'll talk about something else next week. So the general dude is mad at the team for fucking up. Reed says they will be ready next time, but the general dude is too mad to trust Reed. And that's when Doom comes in. Ben runs to choke Doom out, and General Dude says he hired Doom to help them with the Surfer problem. Reed tells Ben to let go of Doom, and then he shows a video of him being attacked by the Surfer, and they figure out that the power is coming from the board that the Surfer's riding on. General Dude tells the two science bitches to get to work on separating the Surfer from his board, and Doom talks down to Reed because he's a dick. At a bar, Ben and Johnny talk about being annoyed at working with Doom, and then they discuss on what would they do on their last days on Earth. And Johnny is clearly bothered about not having a girlfriend. Okay, I'll move on to a lighter scene, like Doom clearly planning something evil while Reed does all the work. Yeah, that's better. So Reed shows the trap he's about to sprain on the Surfer to the General Dude, and bitches about Doom not helping him, which gives Sue an idea to nag at Doom for being a dick. It doesn't accomplish anything. In the woods of Germany, the team sets up parts of the trap, but after Sue does her part, the Surfer casually surfs through the trees like he owns the place. Then Sue asks the Surfer why he wants to destroy the planet. The Surfer says he doesn't have a choice, and Sue says there's always a choice, and the Surfer says there's no choice, and he's not the one that wants the Earth destroyed, yada yada. General Dude is getting impatient that no one is trapping the Surfer, and Doom convinces him to order some missiles to be fired at them. Surfer protects Sue by flying near the missiles, and whoa, that's fucking cool. Alright, then Reed pushes a button and the Surfer's powers are off and he is captured. So, at a snowy prison, the team wants to be present for the question of the Surfer, but the General Dude wants the team to wait in a room while he does his military stuff. The FF are suspicious about what the army people are doing and about the stuff the Surfer said. So Johnny asks an army person for snacks while Sue sneaks into a room where the Surfer is being kept. Inside the room, Sue asks the Surfer things like why did he protect her and why is he working to kill the planet. The short answers are he works for someone named Galactus so he doesn't destroy his planet, and because she reminds him of a lady he knew. The General Dude shows Doom the board, and it makes his power stronger, so he betrays the army people by electrocuting them, and then puts on his Doom costume. Well, with a name like Doom, of course he was going to betray you. And you thought Reed was untrustworthy? Dumbass. Doom steals the board, kills the General Dude, and escapes. The FF get the Surfer out of the prison place. Cute army lady holds heroes at gunpoint. Johnny asks the lady nicely not to shoot them. And they go in the Fantastic Car to go after Doom.
Okay, we're now officially enemies of the United States of America. Victor is out there somewhere with unlimited power, and we've got a giant intergalactic force that's about to destroy our planet in less than 24 hours. Did I miss anything?
Thanks for the recap, Ben. As if I didn't know what was happening already. Was that line for people who took a shit during those scenes and walked back to the theater? What was that about? Anyway, Reed tracks down energies from the board, and our heroes follow Doom to China. They catch up to Doom, and Reed warns Doom about the Surfer needing the board back to save the planet, but Doom, being a dumb, arrogant asshole, doesn't want to give up the board. They chase Doom around for a while until he spins them into a city. Doom makes something sharp from the surfboard and throws it at the Surfer just to be an asshole, but Sue steps in with her force field powers and goes through to stab her instead. Finally, Galactus shows up, and if you think he would be that big purple guy from the comic books, then you're wrong. Instead, Galactus looks like a space ghostly vagina fart. This was the 2000s. Filmmakers were still embarrassed to be too comic booky in comic book movies. Johnny decides to take everyone's powers to stop Doom. So he fights Doom, and Ben uses a construction thing to hit Doom, knocking him off the board into the water. What was Doom's plan? As Galactus is about to eat the planet, the surfer gets his board back, and he waves his hands around Sue's dead body and flies off. Then he fights off with whatever, and he fights and explodes, and I think they're both dead. I'm too fucked up. Sue is alive again. Johnny can touch people properly now, and both Reed and Sue decide being superheroes is who they are. A little too quickly, but whatever. And Sue is not traumatized at all for being dead a few minutes. They have their wedding in Japan this time. There's another cameo from the comedian that's still not saying anything funny. Reed gets a call that Italy's drowning or some shit. Both Reed and Sue rush through the wedding, and Johnny burns the flowers that Sue threw near the cute army lady, because I guess the character development he developed in the last few minutes meant diddly dick. They fly away in their fantastic car, and there's a mid-credits scene of the surfer getting his board back in space, and the movie ends. Alright, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. This movie sucked my ass. The story's your typical boring saving the planet story. It doesn't do anything new or interesting with the characters. The characters are dumb, whiny, unlikable assholes, and there are some things about the story that don't make fucking sense. And speaking of whiny, Sue went from being an independent science person to a whiny, needy jerk in this one, where it feels out of character. But to give it some credit, it does have some cool action scenes. It's very short, it has good pacing, and Lawrence Fishburne does a good job voicing the surfer. I forgot to mention that part. I mean, his voice is so good, he can talk about, taking the grossest dump ever known, and I would still find that engaging. Okay, I'm gonna finish my beer, pee on my neighbor, and pass out. Bye-bye.